All right, me and Tommy having a little Sunday afternoon fun, if you can call it that. All right, we're working on the parts sled for Charlie's sled today, and you can see we've already been ripping it down. We're not going to show you a bunch of repeat work here. We might show you some stuff that goes different, but so far everything's been about the same. The one thing I've discovered is there's no way I am getting out of this project without welding. You can see I'm going to have to weld that up back there, and there may be some other places. So the plan is, Tommy's got a friend. What's his name? Donkey.
Donkey.
So we're gonna get this thing stripped down to the bare tunnel. We're gonna bring it over to Donkey, and Donkey's gonna get her sandblasted and primed, and then we'll evaluate what's next. But that's the biggest step on this. It's to take care of the tunnel, and then I got to call a friend of mine. I'm not gonna name his name on the video, but I know he's watching, and see if he's willing to take on the hood because he's an excellent body man. So, anyways, there we go. That's what we're doing. We'll bring you back a little bit here and there and show you as we work on it. But it's not going to be a real long video today because we've already done it. We are going to not drill a hole in the belly pan on this one. Last time it made things real simple because we weren't going to reuse that. This one we're going to try real hard to not do that.
And we've already washed a lot of rust down with the pizza and the beer, so
yeah,
we're still doing good.
Yeah, we already had our patron pizza break. Thank you, patrons. And last week, it was Thursday, Lonnie and Brad came over and we croiled the heck out of this thing. And the croil smell was so bad we had to drag it out of the shop and put it outside and let the croil work. So that is making things somewhat better. Croil, you give it a few days to work. It really helps with the rusty bolts. So, all right, we'll get back at it.
All right.
All right, this motor and the other motor are both bricks. They are so rusted solid. But the good news is we have located a 399 over at Greg's that turns over. So, and it's in a 71 Olympic. So it's the right motor. Olympic and Nordic use the same 399. So, pretty much scrap here. I don't know. We might use some covers or something between the two of them.
I want to watch him lift it by himself.
There we go.
Look at that boy go.
There we go.
All them wires and tools and stuff, out the door they go.
All right, we fought this on Charlie's sled, and we won. We got all the track adjuster hardware off. This one, everything broke. Everything is broke on this. So at least we got one good set between the two sleds. All right, we got it. We got the chain case off. We didn't drill or wreck anything, but doesn't matter. This chassis, well, not as gone as the last one, has significant, like I'm sticking my hand through that hole, significant rust. It's rusty up there. It's rusty back here under the trunk with holes all the way through. This thing is bad. All right, folks, you've seen the damage. We've taken apart 2. We don't want to take apart 3. We're looking for a bare Nordic chassis that doesn't need a bunch of welding to it, to be blunt. We're looking for something that we can sandblast and paint. This one, could you fix it? Well, you could fix anything with enough time and money, but we kind of want to get this done in time for Charlie to ride it. And this is a bad project. I don't think Charlie knew either of these chassis were so bad. I think he probably thought his sled was in about this shape and this sled was nicer. I know that's what I thought.
Yeah, when our first look, that's what we saw.
Yeah.
Once we started getting in deeper.
Yeah.
So we've dissected 2, like John said, and even if one that's already been repaired.
We would buy, at this point, I'd buy a restored Nordic and maybe we'll take it apart, put in new bearings and put it back together, something like that.
Or if somebody started their project and the tunnel's done and they just decided it's time to call it, We need something. We're north of the Twin Cities. We're in the Forest Lake area.
We don't want to drive or ship stuff. We don't want to drive 4 hours. So, and there's got to be hundreds of Nordics in the Twin Cities area. So if you got one that you want to donate, maybe you want to sell it, email me, nutterspeedshop@gmail.com, because we do want to do a good sled. And
Yeah, like John's
you've
saying,
seen it.
this could be, but we'll have a lot of hours in grinding and welding and bending metal. So at what point do you say it's easier to get one that's already or not been damaged?
If you put any value, if you put any value on your time at all, it's cheaper to buy a restored Nordic.
Actually, if we know the chassis is good.
So sorry, Charlie. I know this wasn't your sled. Your sled's well beyond this one, but this one, if this was a Polaris Colt or a Skedaddler, I'd throw it in the scrap pile.
But we have accumulated more usable parts now by taking apart the second one.
Yeah.
So there is that. So
yeah, and we found the bulk of what we needed. We know where to get stuff. So Greg's got a 399 motor that's going to work. We just got to go harvest it. I've got an exhaust that needs some patching. Goose has got drivers. Goose has got the seat. We still got to get the hood taken care of. But yeah, if it seems like I'm a little defeated right now, I was really hoping we'd, take that back chrome bar off this thing and send it to sandblasting, do a little bit of body work and paint it. But not even close.
So, with that being said,
yeah. So that said, we want to say a huge thanks to Charlie for sponsoring this project, even if it's kind of kicking our butt. Steel sleds don't like to be stored outside. It's just a fact of life. They get a bunch of leaves in them and they rust. But thanks to Charlie, and we will figure out some way to persevere through this. Hopefully, maybe we'll just find a better sled or a better tunnel or something. I mean, a whole sled's not out of the question. If it's got a good seat and stuff, we need a seat. So, anyways, huge thanks to the patrons too.
Yeah, it would be money that would be invested anyway for a seat.
Yeah.
We want to keep his hood, like you said, but
yeah.
A lot of other parts, if it has a blown up motor.
Yeah, we don't care. We got a motor.
Yeah. Drivers are shot.
But what I don't want is for you to give me another Nordic that sat outside like these. We are not open to that because we've already done 2. We don't want to tear apart 3, 4, 5, 6 before we find a good chassis. We need to know the chassis is good before we accept it, buy it, whatever. So hopefully that makes sense to everybody. I'm getting Nordic fatigue. So with that said, I want to say thanks to all the patrons for supporting the channel. If you don't know, Patreon is another site where we do our membership. It's just like a YouTube membership, but it's on Patreon. I do Patreon because it's got better terms for the creator, which is me, than I feel YouTube does. It's about the same. You go over there, you give us a small monthly donation, $5 or $10. In return, you get to see all the videos early and ad-free. You get Patreon-only movies, patron-only videos. Videos.
Outtakes.
Outtakes
would be what a lot of them are.
Yeah, I'm pretty fatigued, but you get that just like everybody does for a YouTube membership. We also want to say a huge thanks to everybody that's given us a super thanks or made a donation to this project. We appreciate you guys. Once again, we are going to find our way through this project one way or another, but I want to find a better chunk of steel as the foundation because the whole thing's built off of this. So you've listened to me ramble enough on that. Yeah, sure, I could weld this. I could make it my life's work, but we do have a timeline on this. We have a lot of work. It's going to take time to get it sandblasted. And we want to get Charlie riding this thing. And we want to get it off to auction to raise that money for charity, which happens in January. And if you're thinking, oh, you can do that by January easy. No. Everybody but Tommy works a full-time job. We only do this for a few hours a week. And we got to do other videos in addition to this one as well. This isn't just the Skidoo Nordic restoration channel. So we're trying to keep other projects going as well. So we hope you can all appreciate that and understand, but this is a lot. Now, if this had worked out, we'd be sandblasting, reconditioning parts, and assembling. But it is what it is.
Yep.
So, thanks, folks.